Hello, internets. What is going on? I am LeafX, and this is the Gamers Roundtable. You're joining us, hopefully once again. We are gamers talking about games. We do this every week, Wednesday at 7 p.m. on Gamers Roundtable show on YouTube. So make sure you go subscribe to that so you don't miss any of that funness. But before we get into what we actually do, I'm going to say hello to our cast today. So you go everybody's voices. We have a couple of people that will join us in a few minutes once they're settled down. But to start off, we have Charles. Say hello, Charles. Oh, no, he's chugging his Mountain Dew.
Hello.
Like a true gamer does.
My green drank of undescribability.
And descriptability.
Sure.
And we also have Manny with us today. He's going to be with us in just a few seconds. So we'll get to him in just a few seconds. But once again, we're the Gamers Roundtable. We talk about games, and we take questions from you guys as well, and we'll answer things to the best of our abilities. But in the meantime, until we get questions from you, we're going to talk about games, gaming news, and certain specific categories that we decide beforehand. So to let you know what we're going to be talking about this week, we're going to talk about our favorite figures kind of in the video game industry and just what they kind of mean to us. Before that, we're going to get into news. But even before that, we're going to just talk about what we've been playing this week and see what everybody's been up to. So we're going to start off with Charles. Charles, what have you been up to playing this week?
I have been playing Bastion. Oh, not Bastion. That was so several years ago. No, I was playing Transistor.
The other one by Supergiant.
Also by Supergiant. That's why I get the two confused. They only have two games. It is a fantastic experience. I'm currently listening to it in the background, and I should probably turn it down so that I can hear everything properly. Fantastic soundtrack, beautiful art, really well laid out, very detailed, brilliant game. It's just, I cannot play tactical RPGs to save my life, and guess what this game is? Tactical RPG. So I played about 5 hours of the game, and according to what I hear is the average playthrough for this game, I'm nearly finished, but I sincerely doubt that because I'm just awful.
That's what they did. They did on purpose. They watched this, knew that you love them, and they're like, well, we're going to make a game that he hates.
Well, no, it's not that I hate it. It's fun. It's like it makes me have to sit down and think about the game as opposed to just trying to plow through it and hit the buttons in the fast ways.
In the fast ways. No Twitch going on.
No twitching on this game. Well, I mean, one of the good ways to play the game is to land a skill shot and then go into turn as opposed to start and turn, try to land that shot, but that takes up some of your turn time, so...
Are you now? I know you're doing the Twitch thing. Speaking of Twitch, have you been streaming this at all? Can I actually go watch you?
I streamed 5 hours of it yesterday.
Okay.
So it's not the recordings aren't hosted. I should probably edit them a little bit, and by edit them I mean cut them into segments because I'm not hosting a 5-hour video somewhere. That would be insane.
Well, Twitch hosts it right on there, right?
For 2 days.
Oh, okay. I thought
they don't host it for very long.
So, gotcha.
I have the records on this device right here.
What recording device do you use?
I use OBS, Open Broadcast Software.
No, the hardware.
The hardware? Oh, this isn't hardware. This is just a hard drive.
Gotcha. Because I've seen different ones where you can actually plug them like directly into like the AverMedia. You can plug it directly into any system, and it just records the output.
Yeah, that would be nice, but that's money that I don't want to spend on this right now. So I'm just using OBS for recording from software and then just outputting it onto a hard drive.
That makes sense then. It looks like Manny's with us now, so we're going to say hi just so you can get his voice. We missed him so dearly last week, so it'll be nice to hear his voice again this week. Hello, Manny.
Hi.
You sound so enthusiastic. How have you been for the past couple of weeks that we haven't seen you?
Fine.
Fine. You waking up still?
Nope. Just tired.
Nope. Fair enough. Fair enough. We'll get to what I've been playing this week, and then we'll see if you're ready to give some back and forth with us after that. This week I've been, once again, as you can see in the background, Smash. I've been trying to play Jigglypuff, and that's actually going to lead into some other stuff that we have for this show today, just some Nintendo game leaks that they're going to be showing at the E3. They're Nintendo Direct for E3 this year, and that's about it for me. Practicing a lot of Smash just because that's my new thing. 10-year-old game, and I can't get enough of it. It's phenomenal. And then right after that, we're going to get to Chaos Breaker as a question there. That's actually kind of relevant to that already. Manny, are you?
That's it? That's all you've been playing?
Yeah, that's all I've been playing. Honestly, I've been playing Smash Bros.
I haven't been playing anything.
Nothing.
TV's broken.
Oh no! Was it just a manufacturer defect, or was it a rage? Okay.
It's just broken. So I'm just looking for. It's practically a full-time job trying to find a new TV that actually does everything you want it to do and doesn't cost $2,000.
That is the key problem is price. Like my guy right behind me, I love it to death, but its original retail price was $2,100. I ended up getting it for $1,200 on a Boxing Day sale, so that was pretty sweet.
I would never spend that much on a TV.
Yeah, it was kind of just a gift to myself for. I hadn't bought anything in a while, and I thought I was doing pretty good, so I spent all the money I would have bought buying games on a TV.
Yeah, I only really ever use my TV to play either console games or maybe stream stuff from Netflix or Amazon, and half the time I'm watching that on a laptop anyway. I just realized like the only reason why I own a television at this point is just for video games, and even then I don't spend all of my time playing console games. So
have you ever thought about getting like, does size matter than you? Could you just get like a 24-inch screen and be happy with it?
That's too small.
Yeah.
I've been wanting a bigger one for a little bit while now. Because when I do go in there to stream stuff, I can do bigger. I mean, especially for what I paid last time around, I'm pretty sure I can get like at least a 42 to a 50 for that price at this point.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's especially with the new push for 4K. I think I've seen a lot of prices for the old gen, I guess you'd say, TV start to go down a bit.
What size is your TV?
My size is a 60-inch.
That's too big for the space that I have. Honestly, 50 is probably pushing it. So.
Yeah. See, the only reason is because my room, for anybody viewing with us right now, is I'll turn my camera, is a very messy but very large room. So the screen right behind me there works really well in this room. But if you're in a compact room, getting too big is just going to seem unnecessary.
It's there's like a scale where if a certain number of feet equals a certain number of inches, the TV should be like it's like 6 to 5. It should be at least 42 to 46, right? 8 to 9 should be at least 50 to 55.
Yeah, I didn't actually look at the scale. I just kind of went, and my motto has always been go big or go home. So I kind of followed through with that one there.
So I guess because I have such limited use for a TV,
there's no need to go big, really.
It's not even big. It's just I can't even really justify spending more than $600, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah.
You know, everyone has their own internal price meter. After a certain point, something just feels wrong. Like, why am I doing this? And I've learned quickly that my internal budget for a TV is like around $600.
I've only recently started to get that consciousness, and so I understand what you're saying. That you're like, now I'm kind of getting past the point where it's like, is it worth spending that much?
Yeah, I mean, this just goes for everything. I mean, when it comes to certain products, it's even as much as food. Like, I can walk into a hamburger joint and go, like, you want me to pay this much for a hamburger? Whereas opposed to I'll go to like a specialty tea store and I'll drop like $60 on a bag of like maybe 4 or 5 teas, and that for me that's no big deal because it's not about cost, it's about value. And that's always
what you're getting out of it.
Yeah, and I guess, like, for example, I buy Apple products, and all of these things are oftentimes more expensive than their Windows or Android counterparts, and I don't care. I get a lot of value out of it,
Hey, yeah, it's what you're getting from it really is. You could buy a Lego piece or Lego set, and if you're going to get if it's pricey, but you're going to get hours and hours of enjoyment out of it, then that's.
Lego is overpriced, absolutely, but it is overpriced because you are paying for quality bricks that have been tested and designed to like latch onto each other and keep their hold like for hundreds of thousands of times. You're also buying the fact that they get exclusive licenses that nobody else does, and you're paying for the fact that they're a company from Denmark who's trying to, and plus there's also the Lego tax of the name itself is like, hey, you're getting something here you can't get from Mega Bloks. Go ahead and try. We're Lego.
It's true. I remember the first time I ever tried Mega Bloks. It wasn't the most fun experience.
Yeah, so I get it. It makes sense. Like even like if people say like, why would you buy this? Why would you buy iOS or why would you buy Apple laptop? You can get a Windows one for so much cheaper. But then Apple also has a Doom Trader. Well, yeah, but you can't get OS 10 or iOS anywhere else. So you know what I mean. So it's all about value, and I guess just like I said, I use a TV so sparingly, and I'm more than comfortable watching shitty internet TV on a 13-inch laptop screen that I don't care.
There you go. That's fair enough. Yeah, see, I'm on the opposite end of the spectrum where I sit across the room. I got my Chromecast, as you can see, always running in the background. Something's always on it. So the TV is a very high usage item, so I spent the money because it was the value, as you said.
Yep, that's true. And which is probably why I'm going to spend several $1,000s on Apple products this year. But actually, no, I'm not. I have no money. Don't come rob me.
Stay away, Apple.
Other than that, I've been playing the Excel spreadsheet, also known as pre-E3.
Yes. Is that your sheet of games that you're looking forward to, or what all?
No, it's about booking
appointments. You're gonna get.
It's emails. Does this time work? No. Does this time work? Actually, I can't do this time because we have another appointment at this time. What if I schedule this for 11:30 at this time? Can we do that? Well, actually, no, because that's in South Hall instead of West Hall, and it takes at least 15 minutes to walk from South Hall to West Hall. Wait, what if we do this one to this one, back to back? So when do we don't get to eat? Okay, so how about do that?
And it's funny.
If you think it's bad for me, it's 10 times worse for any PR guy right now. It's
no kidding. Because you're dealing not with just one of you, but hundreds
several thousand
of you. Yeah. So it's funny. My friend actually just got invited out to do media coverage at E3, and he's not the kind of guy that's going to sit down and do what you're doing. So I feel like he's going to be standing in a hell of a lot of lines once he's there.
Oh wait, he's not doing appointments?
I don't know if he will, because he's just kind of the guy that wings things. So it's his first E3, so I feel like it's going to be a wake-up thing.
And at that point, it's going to be a rude wake-up call because E3 is almost not worth going to unless you have appointments.
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying.
That's not even like some snobby attitude. I mean, I've been to E3 once as that kind of kid who got in when I was 18, and unfortunately though, I got the pass on the last day of the show, so it was like a Friday, and I got that. This was back in like 03. I got the pass, and I ran out of things to do within because each day, like, let me see, on the first day it's from 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. The next day it's from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. and the next day after that is from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. That's a lot of hours on the show floor, and the reason why it's and it doesn't feel like enough to people who are actually real E3s is during the appointments. It's all the stuff behind closed doors, all the stuff that you can't get to on the show floor. So as I got on the show floor all those years ago, even like recently when I had some extra free time because there weren't a lot of RPGs to cover for the site I was going for. The downtime is you really have to choose. Do I want to stay in the 2-hour line to get a free T-shirt? Do I want to spend this 2-hour line to play this game for like 5 seconds? It's not even a good demo of it. Like all the stuff you care about is rarely on the show floor. And
it's
then
all
only
behind
that
doors,
though, the lines are either too long or the demo is too short, or it's a mess. It's a disaster. I remember being that kid who like, yeah, it's my first E3. I got free stuff. And then I got to the point at the end of the day where I'm sitting on the floor like watching trailers because I just ran out of stuff to do.
Yeah, as you said as well too. I think it's going to be just a wake-up thing. I'll talk to him when he gets back. Just how'd it go? Oh, I
tell him to book anything, just anything he can. It's worth it. It is worth it. If you have a press pass, use it.
Hey, yeah, that's the thing is, and I don't know if he'll know, but that's why you're right. I should warn him because I didn't realize how it actually was until talking to you and how you described it. But,
right
We're going to
Sports?
say hi to Eric. Eric joined in here. Eric, hello.
Hey, friend.
How's
it going?
your day today?
How's my day?
Yes.
It's just like many other days.
I like your cap, by the way.
Just another day. Nothing spectacular.
It's a good baseball cap you got
How
on.
was your day?
Good. We're talking about games. What have you been playing this
Wait,
week?
hold on. I muted myself. Okay. Sorry about that. Continue.
I said, what have you been playing this week?
NHL 14.
Of course, it's playoff season. You got to keep the NHL. Or are you practicing to come up to the tournament?
Yeah, well, I'm still hoping that I can plug myself in remotely there, but I'm going to try to get somebody to play me online quick at the tournament. Whatchamacallit? Yeah, I didn't own 14. I had 13 for the longest time, and I had a couple buddies through Twitter asked me if I wanted to get involved in one of their club teams. So I was like, well, I haven't played in a year, so let me go out and pick it up and
brush up on your skills.
Yeah, it's fun to go back to it. It's been like a year or so since I played on 360, but
yeah, I have a guy coming over tomorrow. We're gonna practice for the tournament coming up June 1st.
Oh, and I actually been gaming a lot this week. It's been weird, especially with the amount of playoff hockey that's been on. But I picked up Dead Space 2 for like $8 at Walmart.
Have you not played it yet?
I played 1 and 3.
Oh, okay, so you skipped 2.
Yeah, I skipped 2.
Why did you wait, man? That's a good game for the game club. That's sort of older game that everybody already owns.
Yeah.
Too late now. Jerk.
Well, why?
Jerk.
I'm only like an hour or two in. I can hold off.
I'm messing with you. I'm not gonna.
Actually, you know what I think we should do? I think we should determine now that that's our game club game, because I've only gotten partway through it myself.
I could probably pick it up cheap.
It was legitimately $8 at Walmart, brand new.
I've already played through it, so I wouldn't mind just being the guy who could be like, okay, this is a good place to stop here.
Okay, I think we should maybe confirm that Dead Space 2 is going to be our game club first game club game.
Okay.
And then our viewers can join in too. So we'll have to determine that. I guess at the end. So man, if you want to pick maybe some spots, if you can do that.
You know what? I'm just gonna go to the old Rebel FM archive since they did a game club on this exact same game, and I'll just see what they did.
Okay.
Late to the party. They already did it like 2 years ago.
All right, that works. Hey, well, we're starting our own party. Sweet. So NHL and all that jazz. Before we get into any bits of news, actually, you know what? This will lead right into our news because it was a piece that I had. Chaos Breaker at the side had a question. He said, "Have you read Nintendo's leaked E3 announcements?" I think he's referring to a picture that got recently leaked. And actually, I'm going to try the screen sharing thing so people can actually see the picture I'm looking at with me here. Usually, it just ends up going black and doesn't work. But we'll give it a shot and start the screen share. So if you guys can see it, hopefully with me, I'm looking at a picture that has a bunch of games with release dates and who will be speaking about it well too. And there's a couple that got me excited. For obviously we have our Pokemons and Mario Karts on there. The one that really got me excited is some of the stuff that's going to be coming to the Wii U Virtual Console. It's a GameCube lineup, and the top one on the list there. I don't know if that is if my screen is working.
Your screen is flickering a lot.
Okay. Well, for a June 10th release date, we have Super Smash Bros. Melee coming to the Wii U Virtual Console. That made me a little bit happy when I saw that. And then we also have F-Zero, Super Mario Sunshine, Luigi's Mansion, and Mario Kart Double Dash for the GameCube lineup of it. Just going down the rest of the line here, I'll just list off the rest that they had for the Wii U. There's Hyrule Warriors. We got Mario Party U, Yarn Yoshi, Pokken Fighters. We have Star Fox U, and New Legend of Zelda, which is until 2015. And Bayonetta. in there too. I haven't actually. I played a little bit of the first one. Has anybody actually done a full playthrough of Bayonetta?
No.
It was actually a fun game that I think it was a demo that I ended up playing, but I never actually finished or ended up buying the full game.
You did mention that we're taking this list with a grain of salt, right?
Oh, of course, yeah. As any kind of leaks, you have to take with a grain of salt.
Leak in quotes.
There's
been a lot of like leaked things recently that have been just straight up faked, to get people talking.
Mm-hmm. But a lot of this seems pretty plausible because a lot of it is stuff that we've already seen, or they fall in line with things that have already been mentioned. Like, you look at Super Smash Bros. For the 3DS, there is already a release date for that, July 18th, and then they said the Wii U version was going to be at the end of the year, and on this page it says December 2014. So it does fall in line with a lot of stuff that's already been put out. But you're right, any leaks need to be taken with a grain of salt. But yeah, there's a couple good games. They got a good lineup. If you ask me, I'm pretty stoked.
If this is real.
If it's real. If it's real. I'm hoping it's real because it's a lot of good games.
I don't buy it that this stuff is magically leaked. Nintendo's has always been pretty good about keeping this stuff under wraps in all these years past.
Well,
everyone had their stuff leaked.
A lot of leaks end up not being real leaks. It'd be the company just putting it out themselves. They're scheduled leaks.
But they don't even. No, Nintendo's not even like that, because they're the kind of people who just give the cover of the story to USA Today before their press conference.
They are, but remember, they're also changing up what they're doing for E3. So who knows if they're changing a lot of different tactics, right? It's
really Reggie's going like, all right, leak this to Gama Sutra so it gets posted on on NeoGAF, and that way we don't have to. Come on. I don't know. Like I said, I'll believe it when I see it.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, if this list is this leak is legit, yes. Viewers, what are you guys looking for most coming this year from Nintendo specifically? Are there any games there that caught your eye that you're super happy to see on that tentative list for Nintendo's E3 conference there? Let us know either in the comments or in the question and answer section of the Google Plus Hangout there. Speaking of E3 stuff, I just want to get to, there's been, for Sony, apparently they're going to try a different format, not along the lines of Nintendo. They said they're still going to be on stage, but it's Shinobi, but he said it's going to be better. It's not a direct, like a Sony direct, kind of like Nintendo, as I said, but it's going to be better, so hopefully see cool stuff from them.
What does better
mean?
I
don't know, but maybe more dancers like Microsoft.
Dancers? You mean Usher?
More flash mobs.
Like, oh, wait. So, like, because I've been to the last like 4 or 5 Sony press conferences straight.
Mm-hmm.
So when you say I'm not sure what you quite mean. Because I think their best press conference year was the year where they lifted the stage and then everyone in the press conference got to go to a party, have food, and then play everything. That was the year they announced the Vita, so everyone just got to stand in line, try the Vita, play a bunch of games. Jane's Addiction was playing live and no one cared because they were too busy playing. So if they did that again, I would be more than happy.
Maybe that's what they're going for. Again, besides the fact that it's going to be better, there's no other real details on that.
It's going to be better. That's so vague. What does it's going to be better mean?
It's #hype. #hype. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Apparently, Microsoft is claiming theirs is going to be also really good.
Oh, and then as if Microsoft's saying like, no, ours isn't going to be better. It's going to be the same.
It's going to be the same. Well, Phil Spencer has been putting a huge emphasis on games.
Actually, if you want to talk about E3 stuff, like legit E3 stuff, not some vague, not some fake rumors, is so last week was E3's Judges Week. Do you guys are familiar with this?
No.
Oh, really? Okay, so every year for the several past, I think since like the last E3 in Santa Monica when they shut down, there's a pre-E3 week where they bring in a bunch of E3 that squirrel. Okay, so anyway,
He's
That's
back, huh?
Squirtle.
Ah, he's chewing on the wall. Don't chew on the.
Manny's nemesis is a squirrel.
Oh, wait. Okay, so anyway. Such a bastard. Anyway, I'll come back to this story. I'll talk to you guys in a little bit.
Okay. Manny's gonna go deal with his squirrel infestation that he's got, his nemesis. So in the meantime, Watch Dogs is going to be releasing soon, so we're going to touch on a couple things from Watch Dogs. Just obviously a lot more is going to be coming out in the next couple of weeks up to its release. But apparently, it kind of in tune with the game, they're going to be punishing people who don't play online. There's a section that says, by trying to disable the online invasions portion of the game. By disabling online invasions, you will not be available for other players to invade, but you will also not be able to participate in online hacking and tailing. Your notoriety will be reset to 0, and any notoriety skills you have unlocked will be lost. Do you want to disable online invasions? So basically, as soon as you sign off from playing Watch Dogs online, all your stats get reset to 0. So they're trying to punish people for not playing online, which I think kind of ties in with the theme of the game in a sense. And I don't know if that's going to allow them to get away with this kind of online DRM without any intense feedback.
What are these stats that get reset? Are these just the online multiplayer stats, or what?
Yeah, it's your notoriety and your notoriety skills.
Does that only have to do with online play? Or does it have to do with single-player play as well? Because if it only has to do with online play, then I suppose that's okay. But if it has to do with single-player play as well, then you're nerfing people who don't want to play online.
Wait! But you said notoriety. If they're talking about notoriety in the way they mean, the way Ubisoft has traditionally used it with like the Assassin's Creed thing, it just seems like something you can build back up pretty quickly by doing a couple of good deeds or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm. So it's nothing that's like going to be ridiculous and have crazy backlash, but it's still a form of, I guess, online DRM in a sense to keep people online all the time. Or you're not getting the full experience.
More like online. Well, you could say maybe the same thing about. I don't care.
I don't care. Yeah, I was. I don't actually have it pre-ordered, but I'm gonna pick it up on its release when it comes out in the next couple of weeks. You guys gonna be picking it up at all? And nobody?
At this point, I'm done buying games until I get a next-gen console.
Fair enough. Do you have any speculation on when you want to pick up either of the two?
Nah, especially since I have to drop all my money on a new TV, probably not for a while.
Fair enough.
But it's like I would hate to buy like the 360 or PS3 version, have it hitch up, have bad frame rate, or just look crappy knowing there's a better version out there, and then have to buy that better version again later. So at this point, I'm just gonna wait until I actually pick it up. I'll probably get the console, and then there's a bunch of games really cheap anyway.
Yeah, fair enough. Because by the time you get the console, a lot of the games will have been out for a bit. The next little just bit on Watch Dogs is map size, in case anybody is concerned with that. It's been compared to, of course, Grand Theft Auto maps on the size of that, and it was very similar to Grand Theft Auto 4. With someone did it with a 10 to 20% accuracy, margin of error, and it's slightly larger than GTA 4. But about 1/3 the size of Grand Theft Auto 5. But from the looks of it, the city's going to have a lot more going on. There's a lot of barren spots in GTA 5, where there's just nothing was happening. So as long as there's more stuff to do, I don't think people are going to care about map size, and it's still going to be large anyways. But yeah, that's if you care about the map size at all. And I thought I had one more thing on Watch Dogs. Oh, yeah, here it is. I have to wait for my page to load, though. It's not going to load, so we're going to skip that then. The next bit of news-ish stuff I have just has to do with a couple of game releases. Obviously, we're going to see a lot of that coming up to E3. But Far Cry 4 was kind of sort of announced for release date of November 18th. On next-gen consoles. It's called Welcome to Kyrat, if I pronounced that correctly. I I just hope they don't fall into the yearly model with that game as well too. But it looks like it's going to be more of the same awesome thing. It's just from the cover art itself looked pretty wacky and weird.
It looks very first portion of Far Cry 3.
Mm-hmm. I'm kind of excited to see what more they'll have coming up. I'm sure. Obviously, we're going to see that at E3. The next game was Halo 5 Guardians. Will be coming to the Xbox One in the fall of 2015, so that's still a ways away, which is good. It means they're putting a lot of time into these series, and I've always actually enjoyed the Halo series, for its story and its lore and all that. The entire universe has always made me very curious about what's going to come next. And a very highly anticipated one, The Division, will be 2015 on PC, Xbox One, and the PS4. And I'm stuck actually between getting that on PC or PS4 because it seems like a lot of my friends will be getting that on PC, and that's a game that you want to play with your friends. So I'm looking forward to that one. And then the last thing I have is the PS4 camera price. If you were picking one of those up and you hadn't yet, is being raised to $69.99. I think that's a $10 increase from what it was before.
It looks like it's rumored. A rumored increase as opposed to actually going to.
Which I wouldn't be surprised to happen because they did raise the price of the PlayStation 4 in Canada at least up $50 I think it was.
Yeah, up $50.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it was it was in their Road to Greatness sweepstakes list. It was under the things that you're going to win, and then they had the value of it beside it, and the PlayStation 4 camera was at $69.99. So if they had it in their sweepstakes, I'm sure that's probably what it's actually going to jump to, or they're just overpricing their package to make it look better.
Maybe they're making it look like, or they're reminding people that they're just going to be out of stock of this camera forever. Because the wording of the article states that GameStop sells it for an extra $10 if they feel like they're low on stock.
Yeah, that could do it too. Sorry, I forgot I did have one more thing I just forgot to write down. It's just a small list starting if anybody out there is looking forward to PlayStation Now. The beta invites have started to roll out for the PS3 and the PS4. If you guys don't know what PlayStation Now is, it's their streaming service for games, which was originally Gaikai. But they have a small list of games that you can already play on it once you get your beta invite. There's a couple okay ones on here, nothing super huge yet. But you got All Zombies Must Die, Ben 10 Omniverse, Big Sky Infinity, Choplifter HD, Dead Island Riptide, Eat Lead, Hunter's Trophy 2, Legazista, Mercury HG, MX vs. ATV, Sniper Ghost Warrior, Oddworld, Overlord, Pacific Rim, Pickle Junk Eden, Papa and Yo, Poker Night 2, Rocket Birds, Tales from Space, About a Blob, and Way of the Samurai. So that list will go up as they start adding more to it. I'm looking forward to that service. I just need to get way better internet if I'm going to be streaming a lot of games. But again, because I've been away for the weekend, it was May 2 for us. I was on vacation. I may have missed some news pieces. So Manny, if there's anything I missed, if you want to fill in stuff that I may have missed, that's
No, I'm good.
this week already. And Charles, is there anything specific that you had?
Oh, I don't have anything. I was too busy playing Ingress on the weekend.
Oh yeah, because they
had to
released
get a portal submission count.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for the medals now, because they released 8 more levels.
Yep. Now this stupid thing is outdated.
Man, have you joined the Enlightened yet? Come join us.
He's got an iPhone.
Oh yeah, well it's coming out to iPhone soon, is it not?
No release date yet, but there's rumor that they're working on it.
Yeah, I thought it was supposed to be sometime this year, which would be cool, because then we can maybe try to convert him to the Enlightened.
to the winning side.
The winning side. Well, with that bit of news, I guess we can move on to just our next little piece. We're going to talk about, I guess, just people in the industry that's either maybe inspired us or we look up to, or we feel have maybe made a big difference in the industry. So Manny, if you didn't know what we're talking about, just people that in the video game industry, be it maybe YouTube streamers or executives or programmers that maybe have inspired you more, or that you look up to maybe, or have always appreciated their work. What if there's any particular people? So if you see shaking his head, no.
No, it's going to be a short topic this week.
Yeah, no, I figured it was. A lot of people are busy, so
most of our lists are probably rather coincident.
Mm-hmm. So, Charles, if you just want to say, if there's anybody, what kind of people have you looked up to into the industry? Are there any particular figures that have?
Couple of the YouTube content producers that inspire me to play video games more, mostly because I watch them play video games and I'm just like, hey, you're bad at that. I bet I could do that better. People like TB, so Total Biscuit, Total Biscuit, and Jesse Cox. Those two clowns. Well, I think TB tries to be a lot more serious, but whatever. And Day 9.
Day 9 for sure. Day 9's actually a good person to look up. He's a very professional mannered in the stuff that he does. And he's very well spoken. I always enjoy when I'm watching any of his streams. Yeah,
he's used to be a StarCraft caster, used to be a professional StarCraft player, and now he just does his daily show for StarCraft, and then on Fridays he just plays whatever the hell he wants. And every once in a while, like, I'll see a game that they're playing. Like, I bought Starbound because I watched all three of them ended up playing this game, and all three of them were really bad at it. And then I realized when I picked it up, the game was not really optimized at that time because it's still an early beta. So it's like, and I swing my attack. Oh, I've been hit by the thing that I'm attacking, and I missed because there's a disconnect somewhere. Mm-hmm. Hooray! Early beta. It's better now, but...
Sorry, I forgot something before. I just wanted to ask, actually, Manny, on this. And for anybody playing Diablo 3, did you have you been playing in the past week at all?
Nope.
No, they have that the legendary drop rates was actually doubled during the entire week, and it ends tomorrow at 5 Pacific time.
Sounds like fun for people.
Yeah, legendaries don't matter at level. What level am I? Like 5, 6? I rolled a character.
Do.
Oh, they do.
Totally do. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Do they continue to matter up until level 60?
They always matter because legendary is not just a bunch of numbers. It's that they have unique abilities. Like some can be something as simple as a treasure golem that follows behind you and collects the trash loot and then spits out another rare item afterwards, or something that every time you attack, you'll spawn a unique monster that attacks for you. Legendaries do very unique things. It's not just numbers.
Will a drop scaled for a level 6 be relevant?
It doesn't matter.
To
that stuff, the unique stuff is unique stuff always. It's a separate affix.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, your numbers will be low, absolutely, but I don't see why having like low numbers would prevent a little golem following you out and picking up trash loot.
I suppose.
And along with that is players will also receive twice as many rift fragments.
That alone is probably worth it. Just bank those rift fragments.
Yeah, and they said this will stack as well too.
Yeah, I have no idea what those are.
That's the end game. That's the end game in a nutshell. Is you go do a couple bounties, you get some rift fragments, you jump into a Nephilim rift, which completely randomizes and mixes all the content from all Diablo 3 into these really interesting challenges, and you get lots of great stuff out of it and a great challenge.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess I'm going to have to actually play through to max level.
No, you don't even need to max level. You can do a rift challenge right now.
If I ever get any rift fragments.
All you have to do is finish some bounties. Are you playing it? Wait, you haven't even unlocked adventure mode, have you?
No.
That's why, because that's why this is all foreign to you. You need to beat the game at least once. This is all like you'll get most of the benefits of all of these things from adventure mode. That's where the true end game is in the new adventure mode.
Okay. Well, you have until 5 o'clock tomorrow to finish the game and get adventure mode unlocked.
No.
That's why.
Yeah, after tonight, I'm probably going to start playing Transistor again, and there's going to be no room for Diablo 3.
Mm-hmm.
See, I was confused why you were thinking like legendaries like mean nothing. I was like, what are you talking about? Like, because I just started a new character, and like he's like level whatever, and I have a couple of legendaries on him, and it's great. They do some great stuff that really improve my level 5-10 character and makes him do interesting things I never would have imagined being able to do beforehand.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I don't know if I should. I think I should wait and get Diablo 3 on the PS4 this August.
It's a very different experience. Are you gonna have people who will play with you at some point?
Yeah, hopefully. I have a few friends. I think that we're looking forward to getting it on console.
But is it like a console video game kind of thing where they play the multiplayer a couple of times and they put it away and never come back, or like more like the PC thing where someone's always maybe up for a Nephilim run, a Rift run at any time?
Most of if my friends are getting Diablo 3, it means they're in for like going back to it all the time. Like they know what they're getting into. It's not a a pick it up shooter kind of game, right?
Then if you prefer it on PS4, go for it. It's coming out soon, right?
August, yeah, is when it'll be coming out. Expo and PS4, PS3, and 360. You've played it on console, have you not?
Yeah.
What did you feel? Was it done right?
I'm not the person to answer that question. Some people swear by it. I didn't enjoy it at all.
Okay. I guess it's all.
I just didn't like it. I thought it felt awkward and slow. I didn't know why I was playing this on a console when I was picking this up. It was just like, okay.
True. I guess
if I'm sitting on the couch, I'd be playing something much more exciting in my action RPGs.
I say if you're in the mindset that you're going to be playing it on PC, picking it up on console might be a little awkward and weird.
I didn't like it. Some people swear by it.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. Okay, cool. I just want to shout that out there for anybody that hadn't known about it and wanted to jump in quick and get that before that was up. But back to, I guess, industry people that we've kind of looked up to before or have done cool things that we will always swear by and follow by. I'll throw one out there too. I'm going to leave that one to the end because I'm sure there's a couple people and it's kind of cheating for that one. But I'm gonna put out right now Kaz Hirai. Again, people will be like, "Oh, it's because you're a Sony fanboy." I think it's because I kind of admire what he's done with the company over the past year since he was moved up. The company was starting to slump; they were losing money, and now he's pulled them back up by restructuring a lot of the company. He's done that 3-tier system where everybody ends up reporting to him. He's got control over everything, unifying the divisions so there's not like 20,000 divisions for different Sony products, and kind of focusing their efforts to make everything work together. So I thought it was really, really smooth and executed well at how he did that with the company. So it kind of gave me a lot of respect for the guy to be able to pull a company that's falling apart up like that, and I'm hoping someone can do that for Nintendo as well to step up and pull them back up to the spot where they used to be, and kind of re-image themselves to what we expect from Nintendo. Yeah, Kaz Hirai. And Manny, you said you didn't have anybody that's particular that you could think of that.
No, it's a weird question for me. I care about the products, not the people behind them.
True. I think it's more of just showing our appreciation to the people that have done.
Yeah, I do that by giving them my money.
Yeah. Fair enough. Fair enough. I think we should throw one out of the way because I'm pretty sure both Charles and I will have it on the same one here, and it's kind of just a cheat. I think we're gonna have to throw Gaben out there.
Yep.
Our beloved guy from Valve. Gaben's done a lot, especially just being able to.
Are you saying Gaben?
Gaben, yeah,
Like Gabe Newell.
Gabe Newell.
Alright.
It's
Alright.
it's
That's his full name
it's
is Gaben.
Gaben.
I think that's just what people call him. I'm not
At this
exactly
point,
sure on
yeah.
that.
Yeah, it's Gabe Newell, and the N's just been put into his first name. It's his
Alright.
internet name.
I've never
his
heard that
tag.
before.
Oh no,
That's
really?
the first time I've ever heard it.
Oh well, we'll have to make sure we say it more often so you hear it a lot.
No, thank you. I'm good.
But Gaben, yeah, Gaben's always. I've always respected the way he always reacts to the community and definitely listens to them. I see the emails that he answers to people, like actually sitting down and taking the time when you already probably have a million freaking emails coming from your company itself to sit down and answer emails from fans and stuff like that. I think that's always been a good respectable trait from him. But now that I've taken that one off your list there, Charles, anybody else?
Well, seeing as we're going back and forth and taking the shared ones, John Carmack.
Yes. I don't think
He-
anyone could disagree with.
Yeah, he basically made what first-person shooters are back in the 90s, and he just I don't want to say like streamlined game development for shooters in general, but he sort of made that into the norm, where this is a popular sort of gaming genre.
Yeah, he set it onto its own field and said, "Hey,
Yeah,
this is what it should be."
yeah,
And then
he's a brilliant man.
that's what I was gonna say. Have you ever watched any of his conferences at QuakeCon and just
I have
listen to the
not
man
watched it.
talk?
I've not watched his conferences, but I do know. I do know that he's kind of I don't want to say philanthropist, but he does things for the good of. He's joined the VR movement because he likes VR and he thinks that VR is going to be how everything should, well, like be done in the future. I'm getting a echo from somewhere.
I don't hear.
But I'm just gonna turn down so it stops distracting me. So he's joined this movement so that he can have his own hand in making sure everything goes right with development. He's a brilliant developer, and yeah, that's pretty much what I have to say. He's pretty
No,
cool.
it's even beyond in his own personal projects. I've listened to him talk about by listening to his QuakeCon conferences. I remember one time I was in Europe, and me and my friend, we actually took time out of our trip to just sit in for 3 hours one time and just listen to the guy talk. We were also really tired from walking around that day, but we sat down and paused our trip for a bit just to listen to him, because it's really interesting just to hear the things he was saying. That was probably 3 years ago when he was starting to talk about eye tracking and VR and stuff, and it was fun to listen to. The guy's a brilliant man. I listened to him talk about that thing they did with Rage, just with textures and stuff, like the super textures, I think he called them.
Mega textures.
Mega
and
textures,
I don't think that
that's
ever
what it was.
actually dropped for Rage. I think they stopped putting money into the project and kind of disappeared.
Okay. It was still interesting to listen to talk about it and just kind of the things he experiments with, even just on his own time. So yeah, John Carmack's a super cool dude. Really freaking brilliant. And then the other guy on your list, I don't know who that is.
The other guy? Oh, Darren Korb. He's the audio guy for Supergiant Games.
Of course you pick him after before the podcast you're raving about the soundtrack. You have to link that to me.
Oh, both soundtracks are beautiful, and they're very varied between the two games. And apparently he's responsible for pretty much all of the audio for them. He edits the voiceovers and everything. And a lot of both of those games, a lot of the sort of draw for both of those games is how well designed the audio and art and everything goes together. It's a really artistic, like, masterpiece, basically.
Hmm. I've when it comes to composers, I've always enjoyed a lot of music in video games, but I never actually go find out who they are half the time. I really should start doing that and see if they have other stuff that I should listen to. Um,
Well, I mean, when a development studio has 8 people in it, it's really easy to find
I
out
guess
who
it's
their
easy.
audio guy is.
that's fair enough. That's true. Um, yeah, kind of on the same thing. My last one there is we could have seen this one coming too. Amy Hennig was uh, my one of my top favorite industry people, just from the stuff she's done, with Uncharted, and how
Yeah, she was the
perfect
story writer,
her
right?
writing it has been. Yeah, and it's always blown me away at how freaking well done her stuff is. So it's at first I was kind of like, oh no, she's left Naughty Dog, but then when I found out she's working on that new project, the Star Wars game, it's kind of better because now she gets to try her hand in something that she hasn't been doing for the past few years, but still doing what she does best, right? So it'll be fun to see her, let her have that new book to write, so I'm excited for that. But yeah, she's one of my favorite in the industry for sure. And just double checking with you, Manny, for sure you have nobody that you particularly.
Nah, boring topic.
All right. Well, that kind of wraps that up there. We have a couple of people that dropped out, and Manny's looking a little tired on us, so I'm wondering if people want to wrap up today, or if they have anything else in particular that they wanted to get out of the way before we headed off.
This was too fast, like a 30-minute episode.
Oh, we hit an hour.
It was a 1-hour episode almost.
Like a 30-minute
This is
episode.
the shortest episode we've ever done.
Yeah, an hour. Yeah, it's still, but it's again, I think I've been away for the past 2 weekends, so I've been really focused on other stuff. So it's I've been kind of bare bones on a lot of the news and stuff.
Hold on. There's some things I want to ask you guys first.
Okay.
You've missed all the big releases of the week, so no one tried out Super Time Force or Mario Kart?
No, I've actually stopped playing Mario Kart after Mario Kart DS because I hate how casualized they've gotten, and they don't play as a
good things about Mario
competitive game
Kart.
anymore. I mean, I'm gonna try probably a demo at like a kiosk at some Best Buy or something like that, but I'm not about to jump out of my way and pick it up just again because I've not liked them since MKDS. Way too casualized.
All right, what about Super Time Force? You guys playing Super Time Force at all?
No, I'm not, and
You
to
have
be
no
honest,
clue what it is, do you?
I have no clue what that is.
Okay,
Okay.
explain what it is.
No. Next is what about Wolfenstein?
Oh, did that come out already?
Yeah, it just came out and it's getting
Oh.
like surprisingly great reviews. People
it's
seem to
weird.
be really surprised by how good that game turned out.
Okay, because beforehand I'd seen a lot of people kind of like iffy about it.
Oh yeah, I played it at E3 last year and I was so underwhelmed. It was so meh. But it turns out that the gameplay is actually pretty solid. It's a good old school shooter. It has actually an interesting story with interesting characters. I mean, who would expect that Wolfenstein would have interesting characterization and interesting storytelling and interesting thematic? It's actually people are really enjoying what this game is doing. So
Hold on a second.
Actually-
A shooter with an interesting story?
yeah,
Hey, there's been a couple.
more than a couple. Come on, man.
No, that was.
Oh, but then
Right.
again, he hates BioShock, right? No, that's you who hates BioShock.
That's me that hates BioShock.
I was gonna ask you guys about that list after this. So yeah, no, I was gonna pick. You guys interested in checking it out, picking it up, anything?
Now that I know it's out, actually, I might go pick it up in the next few days because I actually was looking forward to it, but then I saw some of the speculation on it, and I got a little critical myself because I saw some gameplay. But if it just turns out that they had a lot of hidden stuff that turned out to be really good, I might actually have to end up picking it up anyways.
And apparently, it has like a branching storyline. You make like a decision early on, and it splits into two different timelines. So there's a lot of reason to replay it. Sizable length,
That's good.
cool guns, good graphics. Yeah, it seems like it's a total package right now.
I have to do that. Back to Super Time Force. Is that the one where you have 4 different characters and then you can reverse time?
It's the one that's like you have a time limit to beat a certain level, and as your character dies, you have the choice to either rewind with that character to a previous point, or to lock in a new character, but that character's ghost still exists and fights with you.
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought it was.
So you can have like up to like 30 people fighting these levels with you, and you have to use like all the characters and their deaths and clever ways to beat bosses quickly so you can finish the level.
Yeah, so shoot a particular part, die, and then come back, shoot a different part, so you're both shooting. Yeah.
Yeah, it was
I
the
remember seeing
indie darling before Transistor came out, and then Transistor came out, no one cares anymore.
that. It's
Super
Time Force.
Okay. I'll have to check
and
it out.
It's is it only on the Xbox?
It's probably indie games are everywhere, right? Aren't they?
Yeah. I'll have to see, but from what I'm seeing is that it's only on the Xbox One and 360.
It's probably timed exclusive.
It might be on Steam.
Yeah.
Let me check it.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm not saying it's necessarily a big deal, but it was something people were talking about. I was wondering if you guys were checking it out.
No, I did. I just had forgotten the name. I had seen it before and it looked interesting. Didn't realize that it came up this week either. But yeah, I'm gonna have to go check Wolfenstein for sure because that's. I played the last one. I liked it.
Here's something that people have been sad about is that H.R. Geiger died recently, like last week in '74. Did you guys mention that?
No, we didn't.
Well, anyway, a lot of the industry seemed to be pretty sad about that. If you don't remember who it is, which I'm guessing you guys don't.
No.
He was responsible. A lot of his designs were responsible for a lot of his monster and creature designs and artwork greatly influenced a lot of game developers. And I'm beating around the bush, but he's the guy who designed the look of the aliens in the Aliens franchise.
Yeah.
And the space jockey and all that stuff.
Okay, so he was a painter, and then a lot of people took inspiration from him.
Well, that's an understatement. It's like if you want to talk about like 3 movies that were perhaps like the most that have shaped the game industry to this point, it's probably like Terminator. It was probably like Terminator. I'm forgetting the name. It's slipping from me. Terminator, RoboCop,
RoboCop,
and Aliens. No, it's Aliens. I lost them. But anyway, for a fact though, like Aliens has shaped the industry pretty deeply.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, I'm looking at the other ones, films that he's done stuff for. Yeah, all the Aliens, Batman Forever, Prometheus, of course, and Species. It was in Tokyo.
So, and finally, I just wanted to, since I didn't get to go last week, maybe I'll give you guys my games that are most overhyped.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Since I had nothing for this one. Really quickly, I'm looking through your list here. So it was Angry Birds, BioShock, all of the Zelda franchise?
Just in general, my point that I was making was I wasn't saying the games sucked or anything. It's just that you see people with tattoos, Triforces everywhere, and it was just when I play them, they're fun, but they're nothing that ever keeps me pulled into them and wanting to buy the next one. And it was again maybe it's just me, but they're good games, but a lot of times they felt gimmicky. And I think someone said that, that's kind of what they're supposed to be, is each thing has a gimmick, but I feel like a mechanic shouldn't feel gimmicky. It should feel like a premise for a game. It should feel a part of the game.
I wouldn't say they all feel. I would say it's a sad thing that the most recent ones feel gimmicky, because at its core, the game, it shouldn't be that. I mean, Wind Waker sort of faltered because it relied too much on its wind mechanic, and it made the sailing tedious, but Wind Waker HD fixed a lot of those problems, so it just went back to its being a core good game. Or you can call the Z targeting and the 3D World of Ocarina of Time a gimmick, but not really, because it changed the industry. On the earlier ones, I would say, I can understand what you're saying with the Skyward Sword and Twilight Princess and the ones on the DS. Those were just all pure gimmick games with Zelda around it. Yeah. And you're not the only one. A lot of people have dropped off on the Zelda games recently. The love is it. I mean, it's still a beloved franchise, but it's not like as diehard as it used to be. Like Ocarina of Time 10, the game of a generation. That's definitely not the case anymore. It's the Legend of Zelda franchise.
Yeah, and that's kind of where I was getting for it. It was just it's good games, but it's not at the level that I think At least it used to be, or that people sometimes make
Hey,
it out to
at the time, Ocarina of Time was revelatory, man. I think it changed a lot of what people thought of as 3D gaming or 3D action RPG or that kind of stuff. So,
Oh yeah, I'm not denying that at all. As you
like
said,
what
it's a
we've
lot of
been
the
doing for
newer
the last
ones.
like 14 years, though. Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah.
And finally, you had Half-Life.
Half-Life, yeah. Again, I just never really found them too enthralling or appealing. Just like I played more Half-Life 2 than anything. That one in particular, I felt like I was running away. A lot of times I felt it was just me doing nothing. You know, I'm driving this hovercraft through a sewer for fucking ever, and what am I doing? Right? It just felt like a lot of emptiness to me. And I understand how it took like a lot of the puzzle mechanics and that were really well done. With the physics and that, but I felt like a lot of it was spaced out too far, that it kind of made the experience not feel tight. And a lot of people, as you know, hyped the series up to be like best
game
series
of all
ever.
time, right?
Yeah, and that's not what I feel it is. I mean,
As
again,
soon as
not
anyone
saying
says something's the greatest game of all time, there's instantly going to be a team of people like going, not so fast.
hold your horses.
Not so fast. Yeah. There's missing number 4. You didn't have a number 4?
I don't think I did have a number 4, unless I just forgot to write it down there. I'll have to open it up. But no, I think I only had a couple.
And look at this guy, Charles. He doesn't like strategy games. He doesn't like shooters. And he doesn't like the JRPGs.
What? Oh, it's not that I don't like JRPGs. I mostly said the Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy, with a couple of exceptions, because I liked 6 and 7, but I didn't like any of the other ones.
I think 7 is like some of the most overhyped garbage on the planet.
No, it's great.
I don't agree, but that's the point, though. What you think, what I think about, I'm going with my list. And I'm telling you right now, the top of the list, number 1, Final Fantasy 7. My God, I'm so sick of hearing about that game. I don't care with the spiky hair. Have you have any idea how many times I heard someone say, like, Cloud is my hero? I'm like, then you need to get out and get a life because you are a sad.
No. Zack is your hero. Cloud is no hero.
None of them are Mr. with these walking hair products and zippers. I don't care.
Zack was the hero. Cloud just forgot who he was and thought he was Zack.
I don't care, dude. I'm not talking about Final Fantasy VII. Other than say I don't want to ever hear about Final Fantasy VII again. That's all I want to say.
It's on the list, and that's it. Let's drop it. No more talking about it.
Next up is Metal Gear Solid 4. Some people swear by that game. I actively hated it.
See, I'm kind of on the middle ground. Like I played a bit of it. I actually didn't finish it. My friend ended up finishing it. I lent it to him. But from what he said too, and I noticed even from what I did play, is that there was a lot of freaking cutscenes, and
Welcome
it was
to
more
Metal
like,
Gear.
Yeah, it was like watching a movie. To be honest, Metal Gear Solid 4 was my my first venture into Metal Gear ever. That was my first.
The worst place to start.
Yeah, I think that's why I ended up not finishing it, because I'm like, what's going on here?
The worst place to start.
Yeah, but yeah, it was good. It was good. It looked great, and it was.
Kojima can get up his own ass with these like. I'm a worn-torn beauty / supermodel who's been traumatized by war and the war economy. So I've taken on the form of a cyber panther sniper. Feel the pain of my... It's just like, F off with the anime BS.
Yeah. I can see what you're saying with that. And again, it was a different experience for me. Yeah. See, I didn't see too much of that. It was just, the basic, like, war never changes kind of thing that I got from it.
No, this was different. His was war has changed.
Oh, yeah. I remember
War's
that.
changed. ID tagged the soldiers. ID tagged the machine guns. ID tagged... It's like, we get it, man. ID tags.
Yeah, so I can see... I'll back you on that one. For sure.
So those are like just I hated that game because I bought it, I was excited for it, and the more I dragged on, I went like, oh, this is becoming less of a game as I go on. I'm hating it more and more. It's getting more ridiculous as it goes on too. I am not enjoying this. Why did I buy this for $60? 7, I'm just sick of hearing about.
Yeah.
What else?
I don't know if like your next pick.
Let me see. I'm just coming out with this. I have a number 5 slot that I'm waiting for because that's sort of intensity, waning intensity.
All right.
I just go to my number 5 then if I can't think of anything. I'll hold
Okay.
it up. This isn't that so far on the list because I think a lot of Sony first-party titles are just not my thing. I can appreciate their quality. I can see like, oh, that's a well-made game and it's well acted, it's well directed, has good action sequences, has great graphics. It's just not for me. I'm not interested in it.
Mm-hmm.
I would say that's probably like the Uncharted series, where I recognize they're really quality titles, but just kind of don't care. You know?
Is there a reason you don't care? Is it just like the console aspect of it, or is it?
No, it's
like,
not the PlayStation 3. It's just I don't care. I just straight up, it just does not interest me.
So you're just saying it's not that because it's a Sony exclusive. It's just those ones you've never actually.
No. I'm saying like
interesting.
a lot of Sony first-party stuff in general isn't like this kind of stuff that I go crazy for. No.
Yeah, so it just happens to be like if a game that you loved ended up being exclusive to that.
I wouldn't care.
You would. Yeah. So, okay, that's what I was wondering. If you were saying it's.
No, I'm not saying because Sony made this. That's not, literally not those words. Not. I just said typically a lot of the Sony first-party stuff aren't the kind of stuff that that speaks to me. And Uncharted is like one of these games where I recognize and I see the quality of these titles, but they're not the end-all be-all to me not even by a long shot.
Have you played a lot of them? Have you played Uncharted?
I played like 2, and then I stopped, and that was it. A little bit of 2. That's the thing, though. It's not even that it was like a bad experience. I just wandered away, and I never came back.
Mm. So yeah, it's strange for, and again, that's why we have different games, different strokes for different folks. But when I play the Uncharted series, I can't stop playing.
Look at Mad Men. I mean, can anyone here argue that Mad Men is a beautifully shot show with great costume and set design, a great sense of place, great acting, beautiful people, nice actors? But do I want to watch that? Fuck no.
And that's actually a fair point to make. My friend watches it and he showed it to me. I'm like, I get the artistic direction and I get it and it looks well done, but I'm not going to watch it.
Yeah.
So
Same with Downton Abbey. I mean, Downton Abbey is beautifully shot. It's a great little British series. Everyone's interested in character, but I think it's boring as hell. You can recognize the quality of something and see like, oh, this is well made. It's just not for me. No thank you.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, no, that's why I just wanted to ask because I notice sometimes like with some games too, I've seen before where I'm like, oh, that just doesn't interest me, and then I'll play it and I'll be like, well, when you actually play it, somehow it pulls me in and keeps me interested. So that's why I was checking if you had played them because sometimes it happens to me.
I wander away.
Yeah.
And then that say what you will though because. I played like I was enraptured by something like Skyrim, and I just kept playing and playing and playing, or even a game that's not typically my kind of game, like Burnout Paradise. I played that, I got freaking platinum that game, or Forza Horizon. I keep coming back to again and again. I don't typically like racing games.
Yeah, no, and that's kind of the point I was making there is that sometimes you see a game and you're like, oh, that's not my game, or I'm not interested. But when you play it, sometimes they just pull you in somehow.
No, at this point I know. I live and breathe video games so much that I know. I straight up know. I mean, it's rare for me to play a game and just straight up say, I had no idea. Or like I can maybe see, like maybe Wolfenstein, because of the demo that I played, I was turned off by. But then I started hearing why people like the game. Say, oh, that's totally something I wouldn't know. I know based on talk that people say or the footage that I'm seeing now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, things can have a bad showing or can have a good demo, but then when you get to the final product, to be like, yeah, like let me get a good example of Sleeping Dogs. I played the Sleeping Dogs demo, I was underwhelmed. It was nothing. And then the game came out, started getting great reviews. I'm like, wait, what? That game? And then people started explaining to me why it's good, and I started watching like some quick looks and videos. Like, oh, okay, I see now. I get it.
Mm-hmm.
So, Come on, you must know by now. I mean, after video games all the time, you can watch a video of someone playing something and recognize.
Oh yeah, if for the most part, that's what I'm saying. It's usually just if I'll see like a trailer or something, I'll be like, oh, I'm not.
Oh no. I usually don't make that determination based on the trailer.
Yeah.
I would never make it. I mean, I have to actually see the game in motion, see what the mechanics are, see the flow of the game or something.
Well, and that's initially when that Wolfenstein trailer came out, I saw it and I'm like, oh man, I am just getting excited in my pants right now for this game.
See, that's the thing with me. I was not, because I just am like, oh man, alternate history of Nazis. Who cares? It might as well be the next zombie game.
Mm-hmm.
But then I hear why people like it and the kind of things it's doing with the story, and it's just not your typical Nazi thing, but it's actually like sort of subverting some of that stuff and sort of showing you the consequences of a real reality like that on people, on war, on killing. Sort of the dichotomy of a game about killing where all you do is kill people, and like smart commentary on that. And I'm like, wow, that actually sounds like a much smarter, better game than I was expecting.
Yeah, I enjoyed the last Wolfenstein. It was I can't remember. It was just called Wolfenstein. On the last gen, and I really enjoyed that. That one was kind of like a weird open world kind of like FPS RPG kind of thing, and I thought it was interesting. So I was intrigued to see what they could do with this next one, and it was just looked like a lot of cool killing and stuff, and that's kind of why I liked it. But that's actually, and then I started seeing some gameplay, and I'm like, oh, maybe I'm not interested. But now you mentioned a lot of rave reviews are coming out. I'm gonna look a little more into it, what people are saying.
I think maybe that's why I probably hate Metal Gear so much, because it's so rare for me to buy a game and then end up hating it. Whereas like.
Yeah.
It play like that's probably why I hate Dead Island so much, because I feel tricked. Like, wait, you tricked me. This is not what I came here. Like, I had an agreement.
And you broke your side. No, I get that with Dead Island, because they never said it was going to go so linear and small word spaced. But the Metal Gear was, because I haven't. Wasn't Metal Gear? Did it change a lot from what Metal Gear was?
Tonally, and is very, very different, and gameplay-wise, very different from Metal Gear Solid 3.
Okay.
It's a lot more like Metal Gear Solid 2, which I also kind of. All right, let me go through my list real quick and see if there's anything else on my list of games that I think were a little overhyped. I guess I just put it on the hype. I put Uncharted there not because I think it's a bad game, but it's just because it's a game I sort of walked away from and don't really care too much about, even though it's one of like the most, like when there's a new Uncharted thing, people lose their mind, right? It's one of those like top tier things, and I'm always kind of like, whatever, it's cool.
Yeah. Speaking of getting hyped up for another one, I'm really hoping we see something at E3. I guess we can pretty much say for certain that there'll be something there, because they did have the teaser trailer.
Yeah, it's probably time for the real trailer now.
Exactly. I'm super stoked. You're right though. People look at it and they're like, "Oh, there's another one."
Yeah, like it's just something about Naughty Dog games in general that just make me. I just don't care. I don't know what it is. I legitimately, you know what it is? I know what it is, because these are hyper linear. We have a story to tell you kind of games.
Well, yeah, that's.
I just generally just don't. I just kind of don't care. Do you know what I mean?
Okay, that's just not your thing. Okay.
Yeah, that's totally what it is. I just totally just remembered, like right now, I was like, yeah, those are like really linear. Go down here, and for some people that's cool because Nathan Drake's making jokes the whole time. He's an interesting character. There's some great CG cutscenes. It's an exciting story, and I guess I just don't really. If I'm gonna get that from a game, I guess I only want it as a fast first-person shooter.
I guess, yeah. I guess. See, I go into so I even watch my friends. The first playthrough we'll be doing, and I'm very, very OCD on people playing my games if I haven't, or on my save files or that. But with the Uncharted series, I can even just watch someone play and enjoy the experience without my OCD taking over too much, because that's what it is. It's like
a movie, right?
Yeah, like you're watching a slightly interactive movie is kind of what it is.
Yeah, and to me that is just like that's the difference, right? I wandered away from that, and then I spent days on end playing Skyrim. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just doing what I want to do. I guess that's the reason why. So
That makes sense. I guess your point could be that if you're gonna buy a game, you want to be able to play it, not watch someone else dictate what's really happening, right?
no, not even that though. It's just that for that kind of storytelling, I go elsewhere.
Okay.
Oh, I just thought of something that's kind of gaming related.
Okay.
YouTube is going to acquire Twitch TV.
Oh wow, yeah, for
Oh,
$1
that's a big
billion
deal.
dollars.
Yeah, that was a big one that we missed.
Yeah, so YouTube is in talks. It's not definitive at this point, but the YouTubes is in talk of buying Twitch for $1 billion, and it's got a lot of people obviously upset. I mean, there's pros and cons, I think, to both of it. I don't know how you guys would feel about that, but I know a lot of the pros could be that you end up with a larger architecture. You have a lot more money being able to put behind it, and then a lot of cons that people look into is with the recent G Plus fiasco on YouTube, a lot of people are scared of having that kind of social integration onto Twitch. You have to sign into your G Plus account to do this, and then you also look at copyright things where on Twitch there really isn't a lot of that. A lot of Twitchers, I guess, streamers don't worry about any of their copy, like playing music. Like they'll play music while they stream because they're not worried about copyright issues on their streams. Whereas on YouTube you can't get away with any of that. If you have any smallest bit of copyright material, your video is getting flagged, so you got to be really careful. So a lot of people are kind of wary that what if these policies get moved over to Twitch. Now there's two ways you could look at it. Is that maybe Google does the Facebook thing where they buy things and just try to leave them untouched as of late, or they do the Google thing and they try to put themselves in there as much as they can.
They buy them and then integrate them all into one package.
And that's always been the Google thing, is they'll buy companies and use bits of those technologies to integrate it with already existing services. When they bought Wave, or Waze, sorry, they're looking to integrate it into Google Maps. So they get rid of that existing Waze service to integrate it with their services. So now if they end up doing that with this, because YouTube already has a streaming service where they can you can go on and you can stream whatever you want to YouTube, but then you have the issues of copyright and stuff like that. But it hasn't really taken off. Not a lot of people. It's kind of in tandem with Google Hangouts as we're doing right now, where this is technically a YouTube live stream. Because if you go to YouTube right now, you can watch the live stream on the Gamers Roundtable Show channel, and you can watch it in the YouTube setting instead of a Hangout setting. So I don't know if they maybe just want to have it the same kind of idea where you can still stream on Twitch, but have that stream also integrate into YouTube to kind of capture a larger audience. So that way, you're streaming technically to two separate locations at a time, or two sources at a time, to reach a wider audience. Who knows what they're going to do? And again, it hasn't even fallen through yet. But those are some of the big concerns that I've seen a lot of people having, and a little bit, myself too, because I was looking to get into streaming. And Charles, I know you're streaming now. I don't know if you have any concerns about.
One of the concerns that I have is because yes, this is actually a big thing. A lot of streamers will put on music in the background because not all of the time they're going to be talking. With the case of Transistor, I don't want to put something over it. But if I'm playing League, I'd like to have some other kind of music playing because the League music is the same music every single time you log into the game. So I usually will be listening to something else. If it comes out to being, well, you can't actually add this to your stream because the Google copyright sort of infringement policies indicate that you're banned, then people are going to stream a lot less. How I hope that they handle it, if they do end up putting their hands in it, because it is Google, they do that. That's their thing. If they do integrate something like that, then if they find copyright infringing music, they could just, I don't want to say mess with the audio levels to sort of drop it down a little bit, or have some sort of like general guideline that if somebody's playing a game and has music playing in the background, that if it's just quietly there, it's no big deal. They won't touch it. But if it's clearly they're broadcasting copyright material for the intent of broadcasting copyrighted material and sharing copyrighted material, then they obviously would need to crack down on it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's so we'll see, what more comes of it. But if Google goes ahead and does their usual business, I can see I can see Twitch dying because of this. But that's the other thing is I feel like Google will know that. I think they've learned a little bit from that YouTube Google Plus integration thing enough that if they end up doing this with Twitch, it's going to end up killing Twitch. And hopefully they recognize that these users are just going to, a new service is going to pop up that's not affiliated to Google, and people are going to move to that.
Let's see, Owned TV, Justin TV, Ustream. There's all kinds of different streaming.
There's other ones out there, yeah.
Oh yeah, all kinds of them.
And
Twitch is known as one of the bigger gaming stream sites.
And that's the other thing is I think Twitch recognizes this as well, and I'm sure it was brought up to any of the YouTuber Google reps saying that if you do any of this stupid crap, you're going to lose everybody. And I because Twitch has been really good with dealing with their people, their clients, their customers, the people that use their service, and answering questions, emails, and getting back to people on a human level. And that's actually been part of the pull that got people to Twitch. YouTube, you can't get a hold of anybody if you wanted to, if your life depended on it. But Twitch, the Twitch guys are really down to earth people that I think they understand the community, and they probably would have said if you do any of this stupid crap, these guys are leaving, and you're going to lose everything you just paid $1 billion for. So hopefully Google gets it right. But if they do, then this is a good thing for Twitch. It's giving them a crap ton of money to do more stuff and maybe promote themselves, get them out more, build a better infrastructure. Allow for videos to be on there for more than 2 days. I think you said it was.
I'm pretty sure it's 2 days, unless you're paying them, unless you've got like a sort of plan with them that you earn money with them through advertising. So unless you've got like a plan with them, I don't think they keep the VODs up for more than 2 days.
Yeah. So if it's Google behind them, they'll be able to do that. They'll have that infrastructure.
Yeah, they'll have like a sort of. It would be neat to have an integration where you could just host all of your shit to YouTube, like after you stream. It's just like, and all of this video is now available in the YouTube archives for you to edit as you please.
That would be a good way to do it too. Yeah, all the videos go to YouTube.
That would be a very friendly integration of the Google services to Twitch, but restricting Twitch's ability to, particularly for streamers, their freedom of utilizing music while they stream just kind of kills them.
Mm-hmm. So we'll see what happens with it, but if they're smart about it, I think it could be a good thing. But again, hasn't finished, just preliminary agreements at this point until we see more. While we were talking about that, then Manny, did you find anything else to your list of games there?
No. Aside from those 2 games, most of the games on my list, which is like 300 long, I actually I like most of them.
And you don't think? Well, the thing is, you can find a lot of games you like. None of them you felt were overhyped or overrated or
just
anything
those
like
2, Dead Island and
yeah,
and Metal Gear Solid 4. I've been a lot smarter with my purchases.
Yeah,
Even like when I buy bad games now, I go in knowing it's going to be a bad game.
That's fair enough. If you're gonna buy, at least know what.
Like recently during the summer, I was across the country. I didn't have all my stuff with me. I only had room to maybe bring like 2 consoles. So I brought my Xbox And I figured, well, there's not even a chance I'm going to have an HD TV. I'll bring an SD console just in case. So I brought my GameCube with a couple of games I wanted to play out. And then for some reason, I got like into a Star Wars kick. Like, oh, I missed out all of these big Star Wars games. So I went to a GameStop and I picked up a bunch of games for like $1, $2. One of them was like a shitty game, The Clone Wars, which is like you're in a hover tank. And then I got the Jango Boba Fett game. They were kind of crappy games, but I knew it going in. I had like my 10 minutes of fun. I was like, okay. And I moved on. I saved my career.
That's fair enough. You know, at least you weren't, as you said, with something like Metal Gear, where it wasn't what you thought it would be based off the other ones. And
plus, at that point, it's been out for so long. The reviews are out there, and I spent so little that if I got angry at this game being overhyped, I'm a straight up fool.
Maybe that's what we should do, though. We should always go into every game thinking it's going to be crap, so that way, if it is, we're not disappointed, but if it isn't, we're going to be pleasantly surprised.
Even but then you have to wonder, why are you spending $60 on shrink-wrapped crap?
I guess so. That's fair enough, dude.
What does that say about your life?
I'm just an enthusiast that likes crappy games.
No, you just like you just put a logo on it. You like Star Trek, don't you? Buy this. It has Star Trek right on the name. You're not a real fan unless you buy it.
Yeah, but okay, maybe that's not a good mentality.
There is one game on my list. I would put this like a 6 or a 7 on the hype scale, even below Uncharted, which I think is I recognize the quality. There's not even like an ounce of me saying that game is garbage.
Mm-hmm.
You know, below that one is a game I like, but I still think was probably overhyped for what the end result was. And I like this game, mind you, is L.A. Noire.
Yeah, no, you're right. Did we talk about that on maybe underrated? No, I think it was something else. But no, I think you're right. The fact that I think a lot of people ended up hyping it up because of the facial stuff that was going on, and then
more than that though, just because it was Rockstar.
No, that's the other thing. Yeah,
another open world game from Rockstar, and then you get into it, and like the open world is largely just flavor text, and once you get enough of that flavor, you're better off just having your partner drive you to the next location so you can wander around and pick up the clues.
Yeah, it was more of a, and that's the thing is Rockstar, open world. It was more of a point and click.
Well, that's the thing though. It's like a weird point and click open world adventure game with a dead open world.
Yeah, and you're right. It's that case of you slap the label on and that's it. People saw Rockstar and jump.
Mind you, I'm not saying it's a bad game. I think it's a damn good adventure game though.
But that's the thing. Yeah, it's not a good open world adventure game though. But that's not what it is. But that's what people thought.
There aren't any open world adventure games.
Hmm? Oh, I meant like along the lines of like
No, I know what you know, but I mean, but like that's the thing though. There are no open world adventure games for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
Can you even name another open world adventure game?
What do you mean by open? Sorry, what I meant was maybe I phrased it wrong. I meant sandbox. Is kind of
no. Sandbox is open world, as in there's the city of Los Angeles. You can drive around and go anywhere you want in the city of Los Angeles. Open world.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and I'm saying there's a reason why adventure games aren't open world games.
Well, what about?
Because then you would never be able to solve the puzzles.
No, that's what I'm saying. Can you name a single other adventure game that's an open world game?
Well, would you technically call Grand Theft Auto an adventure game?
No, not even close. It's not an adventure game.
I guess if you're adventuring, the online portion could be.
No, but in the genre, in these genre terms, you would never call GTA. Is that what you're confused about? The genre term for an adventure game?
That might be what I'm saying. I think I'm taking adventure not to more specifically mean the genre.
No. That point and click game you're talking about, that's an adventure game.
Mm-hmm. What about Oblivion or Skyrim?
No, that's an open world RPG. Open world denotes a thing about it's like a modifier for the genre.
Yeah.
So you stick open world on top of blank. Open world racing game. Open world blah blah blah. So you know what to expect. Open world, open city or space. I can go anywhere I want to at my pace. There may be missions or may not be missions around the world that I can take at my leisure, my pace. But it denotes a certain sense of openness, and as opposed to like a linear set of levels that you progress through.
So just question, what about Ocarina of Time?
That's action/adventure game.
Okay.
I know these titles are arbitrary, but they've been in use for like the last 30 years.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. But so
like,
yeah,
when you say like adventure games, you're talking about the original like LucasArts adventure games. You're talking about stuff like Dave the Tentacle. You're talking about the new Broken Age game that just came out. You're talking about the stuff from Telltale, from Sam & Max, all the way to The Wolf Among Us. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I guess. Okay, I just got confused with that.
Yeah, it's arbitrary. I mean, there's what's so adventurous about pointing and clicking?
Yeah. I think that's where I'm like, well, adventure should be, doing stuff.
No, that's action adventure. Action/adventure.
Gotcha.
I didn't make these up. I'm sorry. I know. I just.
Oh, your fault.
I get so many press releases with the genre title, and I look into this stuff so much that I just know all the genre names like off the top of my head. Yes, this is open world. No, this is adventure game. And then depending on if it doesn't have enough adventure game elements, it turns into a visual novel.
Mm-hmm.
And there's puzzle adventure, there's text adventure, there's graphic adventure.
Yeah, it makes sense. I never really. I think I played. I have it LOA Noire installed.
You're so
Installed.
But I only played it for a bit because again, I think I fell into the trap of. I mean, I knew what it was, but I still didn't really know what it was. I thought maybe I'd like it, but it wasn't for me really. It's not that it's a bad game. It just wasn't for me.
You know what might have been an open world adventure game that I'm missing? It's so obvious. Is Myst and its sequels.
I never played Myst. I always wanted to. I remember seeing them as a kid. The first one coming out, I'm like, oh, I want to play that, but I wasn't allowed to go buy my own games at that point.
But Myst worked though, because as you're walking through the island is like the puzzle and the character, and you feel like every time you're going somewhere, you're unlocking new parts of this island and figuring stuff out, as opposed to LA Noire, where it was just maybe there'd be a robbery that you can stop if you happen to drive by it, but you don't. Why would you?
Yeah.
Was Shadow of the Colossus open world?
Yeah, that's an open world, not an adventure game. Oh, these genre names are so dumb. Why are you pointing this out?
Let's just throw them all out to him and see if we can name them all.
No, it's true though. As soon as you start pointing out and you start asking these questions, you realize how nebulous and arbitrary assigning a genre to a game is. Because at this point, let's be honest, the Call of Duty multiplayer is an RPG.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
But we don't qualify it as an RPG but it's still an RPG. It's also nebulous and arbitrary. And yeah, that game was totally open world because at any time while you couldn't fight the Colossi in any order that you wanted to, with a few exceptions, you could go wander around and find lizards and take their tails.
Yeah.
Genres are so dumb.
Genres. I'm going to say her name wrong, but Pekan Levitka at the side, she said, wouldn't Myst be classified as a puzzle?
Yes, a puzzle adventure game.
A puzzle adventure, open
world. The subgenre of the adventure. See, it's so dumb. It's so dumb. But yes, puzzle solving is an integral part of the adventure game genre. Unless you're a visual novel, which is another subgenre of the adventure game genre.
We should just get a bunch of games, say what we think it is, and have Manny feeling, no, this is
Manny, what you need to do is you need to make us a diagram of how to decide.
Yeah, like a full Venn diagram.
There you go. This is the first. It's an absurd diagram. There's so much overlap. Okay, so in the first, I went to Wikipedia.
Over here.
Literally, like the first five words. Myst is a graphic adventure puzzle video game. See, graphic adventure puzzle hyphen.
Okay.
Graphic adventure. Here, I went to graphic adventure game. A graphic adventure game is a form of adventure game. Okay, let me click on adventure game.
Are we playing the Wikipedia link game?
Exactly.
It almost sounds like same with
video game genres is the link game.
It's subgenre.
You argue with the guys who made Myst Pinkun because it's an adventure game.
Yeah, she says I'd say Myst Uru would be the most adventure-like of the series.
But they're still all adventure games, though. They're still all graphical adventure games.
Graphical adventure games. We're gonna come back next week, and we'll see in the back.
All
Manny
market.
Manny, you're gonna have to
across-
send me like a flow chart that I can just put on my third screen here, which is just a big TV, and I can just like defer to like
Reference
the
there.
flow chart
So,
whenever
no,
anyone
this is
asks
all
us to
marketing,
genre.
though. This
You
is
can have
all
your-
marketing.
Yarn
BS
attached to
marketing.
different parts of the room, just connecting like a
Yeah,
murder
I'm gonna
scene.
make like
No.
a conspiracy web in my room.
Like, you know, like when you walk into the serial killer or like the mad terrorist bomber's room and it's just
Yeah.
a bunch of like strings drawn on little push pins. It all
Yeah,
makes
that's
sense.
what I'm talking
There's one genre really, and we're all just living in it.
about. It all connects back to the one. Oh, that'd be
I know it's
amazing.
absurd. It's so arbitrary. It's absurd. But
In-
I will
in
say
reality,
this though.
it is.
I enjoyed LA Noire because there aren't many adventure games, in air quotes, that, well, there are, but they're so off the beaten path. So you get like a big AAA adventure game with that much money spent on it, with mature subject stuff. I mean, until Telltale and until The Walking Dead and Wolf Among Us, there weren't a lot of serious like adult adventure games, you know.
Yeah,
So it was fun. I enjoyed it.
that's true. Yeah, again, I maybe I should finish it
There
someday.
you go.
But
Should that be a
it's on my
topic for
list.
next week? What's your genre? That should be a game, right? I'll name a game, and you guys have to guess the genre. And I'll try
That's
to
actually
trip you
fun.
up by guessing genre hybrids.
Let's do that, Kate. Come with a list of easy ones and then maybe slightly harder ones next week, and then
Alright.
let us guess, and then you'll tell us why we're wrong.
Or let me give you a okay. I'll
Huh?
give you a hard one, an easy one right now.
Okay.
The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time.
Well,
Actually,
you said action adventure.
Oh, I told you earlier, didn't I?
Yeah, you did.
well, you
No,
didn't
you
tell
did.
us what
That's
it
it.
was. You're just like it's kind of open world-ish, and then like we moved on to talking about how something else was action/adventure.
It's arbitrary. I know. I'm ashamed of myself for knowing this.
No, it's fine. I think it's gonna be good. We'll do that next week. That's precisely what we're
I'll,
going to
I'll
do.
think of some stuff on the side.
Get some good ones in there. Get one that's like 20 genres long.
Hey, but thumbs up to that lady who plays who knows her stuff about Myst in the chat watching this right now. Clearly,
Yeah,
you could be
thumbs
doing
up.
better things, but you're watching a bunch of dummies talking about video game genres.
Thanks for watching. Yeah, I do this. Come back next week and ask us questions and stuff, and we'll answer and stuff.
And stuff.
And stuff.
And stuff. But for the stuff for this week, I think that now pretty much wraps it up. We added an extra 45 minutes to that, so that was pretty good. But unless you guys have anything else, I think it's time for us to wrap her up, say our goodbyes.
Action
I
adventure.
got my one piece of news in for the 2 months of podcast.
Action adventure is a genre that combines elements of adventure game genre and various action game elements. It is perhaps the broadest and most diverse genre in gaming and include many types of games which might be better characterized under narrower genres. So that's the one
It's
true
the
genre.
catch-all genre.
That is the catch-all. Yeah, it's kind of like with music too. You know, it's like this is
No,
metal.
no.
This is alt rock. No, it's rock. You know,
No, I
right?
think it's worse when you get into like a techno genres. No, this is house.
Oh,
This is
yeah.
house core. No, this is dubstep remix, core step.
There was a
Dubstep
huge there's an online sort of like utility that they had a while back, and I think last time I looked at it
yeah.
was like version 3. But there's like 6 main branches of electronic dance music, and then like a billion subgenres of each one. And they went on to, I think somewhere in the chart that they had electronica. It's like, yeah, no music is actually categorized underneath this. This is just a word.
Yeah, it's sort of like punk, core, screamo.
Yeah.
Crunk. I don't know, dude.
Crunkcore? Yeah, I've listened to some crunkcore before.
Is that real? Is that real? I
Yeah,
just made that
that's
up.
a thing.
Okay.
Crunkcore, yeah, man. If you want to listen to some crunkcore, go listen to. I can't even. I'll have to let you know in a second. But I have a band that's pretty terrible. Yeah, it's not.
Our friend who should probably tell us how to pronounce her name.
Ah, yeah.
Paikun.
Hopefully, I'm saying it right. Pikun.
Paikun.
Paikun.
me
If you
check.
phonetically spell it out for us while we say goodbye. But she said, "P.S. I'm also the Del Toro Quest fan from last week, so I like her as well."
It's definitely Pi. It's definitely Pi-kun.
Paikun.
She better not be some weeaboo.
No. Wait.
I hope she's like a nice lady from like from the Eastern Bloc, and that's why I can't pronounce her name. It's not some Japanese.
No, it's because Pi isn't a name.
Pie is.
Say that to the life of Pi.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
No. It's according to Google, Pi isn't a name.
All right.
Oh well.
It's a Google joke. I didn't get it.
No, it's not a Google joke. That's her nickname.
Oh, Paikun. Okay, Paikun. So now I can say it right. Now I can say it right.
Pikun.
Picking my nose. All right.
No.
All right, there you go. You got my list of 5 genre overhyped games.
Beautiful. That's
Including
good.
some that I like and some that were good.
That fits in.
And most that were action adventure.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
what was that?
I'm thinking.
Hard, I can tell.
All right, cool.
I don't know. Do RPGs count as action adventure?
No, they do not.
Oh.
But some RPG sites still cover Legend of Zelda because it's a legacy title for many RPG sites.
Mm.
Which means you can also cover stuff like Darksiders and Okami, even though those are more action adventure titles.
All right. Well,
This conversation happens a lot on an RPG dedicated site where you talk about what is an RPG, and eventually people just start rolling their eyes, and then you just say, well, if you want to do the work, write the article. I don't care. That's what it comes down to. If you're going to do the work, I don't care. Go write your Far Cry 3 review.
So, okay, well, I'm excited for our genre trivia next week. Genre guessing.
If I remember. We'll have a backup topic just in case.
All right, we'll pick one.
So this week we've actually picked our game club game and our topic for next week.
We're on a roll.
Wait,
Wow.
Is the game club going to be a separate podcast, like or is it something we bury at the end of this?
I'm wondering if we should include it into this one, and if it becomes too much, we do our own separate thing.
If it's going to be maybe stop at the end and just do like a quick 30-minute recording afterwards. It might be easier for people to follow along with us if they have like they don't have to put in the notes. I'm saying this out loud so people can give us their opinions in the comments. I wonder if you prefer to follow along the podcast and or maybe have a note that says skip to blah 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 to follow up on the game club, or would you prefer just having a separate little maybe 30-minute episode at the end? I'm sure like our recording time will be the same. We'll just take off that chunk into a separate video for them. I don't know what people prefer.
It could be,
video.
I'm wondering if we do it separate, it's more searchable, and that way, it can be found easier, right?
As long as we don't make extra work for ourselves, it's the same recording time or just about, and we just take the last chunk from the end and then make it like this easy chunk that people can follow along if they come by later, Like,
exactly.
I want to play along with these people. I guess you don't have to play with us live. You can just catch up on your own pace, right?
It's true.
That's what I'm leaning towards, but I don't know if people prefer differently.
I'm on the same boat as you, so we'll create a consensus in the next week with the rest of the game.
So everyone,
the roundtables.
If people listening along, if you do want to play Dead Space, let us know. It'd be great to know how many people are playing along. If you have recommendations for like where to stop or what a good chapter breaks to play the game, for sure let us know. Or if you have a much better game that we should all be playing, let us know too.
That works too. And then hopefully this is also going to be on iTunes. iTunes is giving me a lot of issues. I have an RSS feed set up already for our stuff, and it's uploaded to Podomatic. So if you actually want to listen to it on Podomatic.com, you can. But I
this is audio now? I would have been so much more talkative. You should have told me.
Instead
We're
of dancing
on the audio.
I'm uploading the latest episodes. The only issue is that when uploading the RSS feed to submit it to iTunes, it says that our image, our cover art needs to be 600 by 600. Yet I'm uploading an image that's 1400 by 1400. So
maybe it's too large.
No, it just tells me it's not big enough. So I'm working with Podomatic and trying to get answers from them, and then if that doesn't work, I'll just re-upload everything to another RSS site that is hopefully free because a lot of them charge you. And then get that uploaded to iTunes, and I'll keep you guys updated on that.
Yeah, cool. Then so we'll have use coupon code Gamers Roundtable for 50% off your next purchase at audible.com. So, Brody, what's your Audible pick of the week? Well, this week I've been listening to the used audiobook. Remember, use coupon code.
Get your first month of Netflix free.
Use coupon code.
You already get the first month free anyway.
Yeah. Use this coupon code. That's what we look forward to is coupon codes. But yeah, so I'll keep you guys updated on that. And then we got some Dead Space to play this week.
We have to figure it out then. I'll look at some stuff.
All right.
So, and if you don't want us to play Dead Space, let us know quickly.
Yeah, say don't play Dead Space in the time it says for us to say goodbye, or just I'll let you guys know if they say no. But I think Dead Space is a good one. I think it's a good one to do because a couple of us need to go through it.
Dead Space 1.
Wait, do you guys want to play Dead Space 1 first? Haven't you guys been wanting to do 1 first for a while?
Yeah, we could do that. We could just go through the series.
And
See,
stop it.
now we have real questions to deal with. Okay, maybe Dead Space next week. See you guys later.
Alrighty, we'll finish her off. Make sure you guys join us next week on Wednesday at 7 p.m. EDT, and join us on Google Plus to ask us questions, or you can go on to YouTube and watch us. And you can also post stuff in there. The comment tracker doesn't always work, but it does for the most part. So it's better if you want to ask questions to come into the hangout with us. But yeah, follow us or subscribe to us on YouTube at youtube.com/gamersroundtableshow. We're also on Podomatic. It's gamersroundtableshow.podomatic.com if you want to listen to just the audio there. And we'll go down the line and say goodbye to everybody. So Charles, thanks for coming out, saying hello with us.
Thank you for having me out.
Always a pleasure. Make sure you follow Charles at cstovetop. That's on Twitter, and watch his stuff on twitch.tv/cstove.
The usual promises. I might actually stream Transistor, the rest of Transistor tonight. So
good. I might have to tune in while I'm playing some Smash Bros.
I'll tweet if I decide that I want to play it.
Alrighty. And then we have Manny. Thanks for coming out.
Cool.
I
sell propane.
propane accessories.
Propane.
I just brought that up because someone actually made a pretty good ad. There's like some sale on like a 2-pack of charcoal, and they have a picture of Hank Hill right in front of the charcoal. Like, that's a pretty good ad. I totally buy some.
That's pretty good. Right. Link us, so we'll up their sales and charcoal sales. Right, sweet. But yeah, you can follow Manny at Reno EM. And ask him questions and listen to him talk about it.
I hope he retweeted this. Hold on a second, I'm going to retweet it too. It's getting retweeted.
Yeah, there. I retweeted it.
Perfect. And I kept my introductions for myself to a minimal this week, Charles. But I'm LinkFacts, host of the show here, and I've actually started some Teespring campaigns. This is one of the shirts we're selling. We have Smash Bros. Ones up. We're getting other games into it soon. But under myself there, you can go buy this specific one at teespring.com/let's-play-KW Marth Pose. So you can just enter that into your browser and go see. We need to reach a goal of 30, I think, to sell them and ship them out.
You should shorten that link to LPKW if you can.
Yeah, I think I'm going to do that in the future for the rest because I realized how long it is. But if you go into that, or if any of these, if Fox is more your thing, you can go to like KW, Gray Fox and Purple Fox to find the other two that we have up there. We need to reach a total of 30, I think, to get them shipped out. So go check them out, and it supports video games, in the community around here. So check those out if you're interested. But thanks for everybody watching, for your questions and listening in. And we'll see you guys next week. It is. And as always, keep gaming hard.
Can you believe it's 6 p.m. outside? Ridiculous.